Well, happy Thursday, everyone. Todd Bourne here in the Forecast Center with an update on what to expect for the rest of this Thursday or Friday, and of course this weekend. We'll also tell you about a little bit of a cool down on the way for next week, but don't get too excited. You can see a hot day today. Temperatures as of 2 o'clock this afternoon already. Most locations in the low to middle 90s. It's 94 at 2 o'clock in Texarkana, 93 degrees in Shreveport. Many locations likely will end up in the middle 90s before the day is done. Today is Thursday. That is the day that the latest drought monitor is released, and you can see the drought monitor from last week. Really haven't seen a whole lot of change. A little bit of improvement here over the northwestern edge of the area. You can see we went from level 3 to level 2 drought due to the rain that we had during the middle of last week. So that rain basically kind of stalling the developing drought conditions, but given the dry weather we've had since then, we likely will see the drought expand here, especially when you look at the forecast for the next week. Here's a look at the reason for the heat. Upper level high pressure that now extends from the Big Bend area of Texas on up into the middle of the country. This upper level low is going to move over the top of the ridge and weaken it, and also send the axis of this ridge a little bit to the south and east, and that's going to keep us hot this weekend. But as that ridge breaks down, it will allow temperatures to ease somewhat, moving through next week with just a little bit of a chance of rain during the middle of the week. Take a look at Robbins Toyota Futurecast, and you can see that tonight we will stay mostly clear across the area. Tomorrow I expect plenty of sunshine for your Friday as temperatures will return to the middle 90s. We will see dry conditions for football tomorrow evening. Will fall into and through the 80s during the evening hours. And then for Saturday, expect much the same, that mix of clouds and sunshine with highs once again in the middle 90s. It wouldn't shock me if a location or two actually made it into the upper 90s here during the next couple of days before we begin to see that heat ease somewhat during the last half of the weekend, and especially the first part of next week. In the tropics, this is the latest outlook from the National Hurricane Center. You can see the medium chance, according to the Hurricane Center, that we'll see some tropical developments somewhere here across the either Western Caribbean or somewhere here across the southern Gulf of Mexico. Not very much certainty within the models on where this thing is going to develop, nor where it's going to go. There is only one model that does have it impacting the Arctic. It's not one of the most dependable models, so you'll see that when I show you all the possibilities here in a second. But chances are, sometime very late next weekend or the beginning of the following week, this could, if it develops in this area, move somewhere near or east of our of the Arctic. So again, there's a great deal of uncertainty. Just a point to make still that this is an area that we're going to have to watch as we go through the next week. In the meantime, you can see the weakening of that ridge as it gradually breaks down. Possibility for a little bit of rain during the middle part of next week, maybe a 10-20% shot for some rain Tuesday night, and Wednesday. You can see that ridge pretty much gone by the time we get to that point. And then you can see this particular model sends that tropical system, excuse me, by Friday into the southern Gulf, and then sends it to Florida, which is a bit different than what I had yesterday. So again, we have no consistency in the models from run to run or from model to model as to a path that this system will take. Obviously, we're talking about something that hasn't even developed yet. It's not certain that it will, but it's just something to keep an eye on. Chances are rainfall potential for the next 10 days looking very low. Most of us will see very little rain. Now you can see the Canadian model. That's that one model which does bring that tropical system through parts of the Arctic, and it is, obviously if that happens, we're going to get a lot of rain, but chances are we won't, as most of the Arctic will probably see a quarter of an inch or less the way things check out right now. But again, that tropical system, something to keep on the radar. Meantime, tonight, expect a mostly clear sky. Temperatures will stay warm for this time of year. Most of us will see lows in the low to middle 70s. That includes 71 in Texarkana, 74 in Shreveport. Tomorrow, lots of sun. We stay hot. 96, 97 in both Shreveport, Texarkana, 95 in Minden, 95 in Natchitoches, and 95 for the daytime high in DeQueen. 10-day forecast shows that we will see the high temperatures begin to ease as we head into the first part of next week. We'll see those highs retreat to the low 90s, mid to upper 80s for the rest of next week. Overnight lows will begin the 10-day period in the low to middle 70s. they should fall into the mid 60s with that northerly wind moving in here by the end of next week. So mainly dry and hot for the next few days. We will see a break from the heat as we go through next week. And again, we'll have to keep an eye on the Gulf of Mexico as we move into next week, and especially by the time we get to next weekend.